Okay, this is video number 2, improvising on the major scale. Okay, we found out that the major scale is made up of half steps and whole steps. 1 to 2 is a whole step, 2 to 3 is a whole step, 3 to 4 is a half step, 4 to 5 is a whole step. Alright. Well, that's a major scale. Well, no big deal. We've heard it, everybody can play it. It doesn't express much other than just the fact that it is a major scale. When we're speaking, we can speak in just plain terms. Factual, let's say. It's a warm day today and it is such and such a date and time and so on and so forth. Or we can dress up our language with adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, I don't know what all. You know, and this is part of what music's all about, is putting into music something that communicates something, other than just, well, in our case, a major scale. So, in dressing it up, we make it come alive. So, 1 to 2 is a whole step. Again, not a big deal. How can we get from 1 to 2 other than just simply going directly from 1 to 2? Well, how about, is that more interesting than, I would think so. It adds another element. In other words, a whole step is made up of 2 half steps. All right, that's the technical part of it. But musically, is a heck of a lot more interesting than just 1 to 2 is in the major scale. How else can we get to 1 to 2? Well, oh my goodness. What did you say? Say that again? How interesting. Now, I got to see, I also got there. Then I combined these two. In other words, I outlined that D to get to D. Now that's, again, a lot more interesting than simply going from C to D. Alright, so, what if I don't want to start on C, but I still want to play the C major scale? Well, how about prefacing it with a half step, even a whole step, I don't care, or 2 half steps. Now, talk about making an issue of these things. We're talking about getting from C to D. Well, I got from C to D, didn't I? Creatively, improvisationally, this is not planned. Well, in a way it is planned because we're talking about each note has its half step below and above. Each note has its whole step above and below. Well, the whole step is just part of the scale. B flat may not be part of the C major scale. It may be part of an F major scale when you have a whole step there. But we're not talking about F major, we're talking about C major. So, I rather like that. I'm duplicating it here. Okay, now, we go from C to E. Whole step, whole step. See now. By way of a half step. I can go to E by the upper half step. I can outline the E with a half step below and a half step above. Now I got from C to D by the half step. Then I got to E by these 2 half steps of below and above E. Well, we arrive on G. Now, to the person who knows nothing about piano, who's just simply listening to this, they may say, oh my goodness, that is complicated. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. In any major scale, each note has its surrounding notes. C has its surrounding notes, either half steps or whole steps. The next note has its half steps or its whole steps. How do you get from C to E? Well, fine. How do you get from C to D? Your job is to find different ways of getting from one place to another place. Then get to C to F. Instead of just doing C to D, then E, then F, G. Now I'm sort of doing one after another. But let's say that we want to skip some of these notes here and get from C to G. Okay, good. Well, it communicates something, you know. The fact that it's far away, further away than just that. You could do that. That's rather nice. But how about, well, that adds that little, let's say an adjective. So I've used the half step below G and the half step above G to get to G. Now I'll do the same thing here, which is outlining G with the two black notes on either side. Now, how do I get to D? To C. As you can see, all of a sudden, I'm composing. I'm composing a melody based upon these notes and their adjacent steps, either half steps or whole step around the note, which to get to that note. Let's say we want to get from C to F. Going to F by going back to C, then I get to F. So it's a delaying kind of a situation. Well, roundabout, I was there and then I left it and went back. These are all parts of music, parts of improvisation. Going down. Okay. Okay, going down a whole step, then a half step. From G down to G. C, G, down to C. Do anything you can, that your imagination can come up with to get from G down to C. I just played that a minute ago, a second ago or so. But rather nice, isn't it? And I got there from G down there. How about something different? You can go back and forth and around, but get there, have some kind of sense of direction. Let's take another one. How about D? That's too close to C. Let's go to A flat. Alright, I want to get from A to B flat. See, I really got there, but I decided a little bit more. Emphasize the fact that I've got from A flat to B flat. Yeah, prefacing, or if you want to call it prefacing, but it's just a half step into the main tone here, A flat, which we're working with the A flat major scale. That gets to the C. Sometimes you can slide off a note. I did this. Well, it doesn't conform with this whole step here, it's a half step below the note that I should be. Well, fine, get there then. Okay. There's your half step, by the way. You see it? Huh? Isn't that rather interesting? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 3. 1, 3, 4, 5. Then down 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. Now, that's not so interesting or involved because I'm using just the notes of the scale. We want to use those chromatic notes, which I call them adjectives and adverbs and so on, not part of the main tone, the main, the notes here. So, let's see, we want to get from A flat to D flat. That's pretty straightforward though, because you're still working with that. You're just starting on the note below the main tone. Or now we want to get to there. How can we do it? Anything you think of to get there. I'm just trying, using my imagination as much as I can to get from one note or one key to another key. Okay, let's get somebody else there. How about E? Let's do it in the left hand. Alright. Choose what notes you want to start with and what notes you want to go to. Alright, let's start with B. I want to get to F sharp of this E major scale. So B to F sharp. That's interesting. Now, I want to get back to my main tone. What do I do? So I've finished my sentence, so to speak. See, E? That outlines that E major scale there. I mean the main tone. Now outline this note. Alright. Let's see when you get to B. Well, outline it. Okay, D major. You want to get from D to G. Outline those two notes then. How about a whole step below the D, into the D. And a half step, we could go a half step to the G, or whole step to the G, or two half steps to the G. Okay, I assume we were starting D. I sort of lost myself there a little bit. This is the essence of improvisation. And this you can sit at the piano and work it. And if you're having trouble with these, lots of black keys, stick with the white keys for a little while. Although B major, you got... Okay, well, work with that. That should be fun, along with it. Okay, enough for today. Bye-bye.